Hello, my name is Neosith, and I'm going to be showing you how to use my auto hover program in Space Engineers. This ship right here is my dropship, which is using the script. So that's what the screen on the right is, showing my current status and mode and whether or not the script is active. So right now I'm in hover mode, which means it'll keep me completely stationary. But if I go to glide mode, it will allow me to move forwards, or it'll let me move backwards. However, if I try to move sideways, it will zero out my left and right speed. If I go into free glide, it will allow me to move forward, backwards, left, or right, but it will still keep me parallel to the ground. Then last, if I go into cruise mode, I can set a speed for it to reach forward or backwards, and it will maintain that speed. I have it set to 50 meters per second. So if I switch back to hover mode, I can drop down and demonstrate the script on another type of ship, on a mining ship. Setting up the script is pretty easy. All you need is a remote control block, a timer, a programming block, and at least one gyro, which I can more easily demonstrate on the mining ship because the components are actually exposed on it, whereas most of the things are hidden on the dropship. One interesting use for the script would be using it for a flying base that flies around a planet and maintains constant sunlight, since it's able to actually move and chase the sun. That way your solar panels are always generating electricity. That's actually what those squares up there are, hovering landing strips that provide power for whatever lands on them. So I'm where I need to be. I can activate hover mode to come to a stop, then drop down, and here is the miner. So it's got the programming block, timer, gyros, and remote control. The screen is optional. The script just needs to be given the name of one of the gyros, the name of the remote control, the name of the screen if you want it. Then you can also set max pitch, max roll, how responsive it is, how many gyros to use for the script. If you have like 4 gyros and you tell it to only use 2, that means you can still manually adjust your angle a bit while it's keeping you level. And this ship has mostly upward thrust, but it has a little bit of forward thrust. So if I switch to glide mode, I can use those to move me forward. And then switch back to hover, bring me to a stop. Now I'm going to switch to free glide. That way I won't be angling around too much as I go down. Activate my camera and drop down. So even though the drills are shaking the ship, it stays very stationary. And it makes sure we drill a nice straight hole because we're aligning ourselves with gravity. Since we don't need thrusters all over the place, the ship is actually pretty small, and 2 drills are easily able to provide a big enough hole for the entire ship to fit through. So after you've done a bit of mining, you can just back out of the hole. Try not to bump it. And there you go. The script is pretty... It has to run every tick in order to get good results, but I've made a lot of optimizations, especially recently, that really reduce the amount of lag it generates. So like, you can set how often it refreshes the screen. I have it set to default at 5 times per second. It was going at 60 times per second before. I've also reduced a lot of the math to make it more simplified, which means it should run better. So feel free to use the script however you want, modify it, whatever, look at it, learn from it. If you do use it, some credit would be appreciated. And if you make anything cool, send it my way. I would love to see it. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the program, what it can do. If you find any bugs, just leave a message on the workshop and I'll try to fix it. I've already fixed quite a few bugs that people have pointed out, and I'll provide a link to the workshop page in the description for this video, so check it out. It's really good, really useful, especially early on if you don't want to have a whole bunch of thrusters in every direction, because that can be expensive and it could be heavy, and it just kind of looks ugly. So give it a try, tell me what you think.